This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by the Dover Liberty Book Club. In addition to eating lots of pastries and drinking lots of coffee, they are dedicated to learning about the basic principles which explain our current economic and social situation. And speaking of economic situations, you'll be glad to know most of the books they read are free. Dover Liberty Book Club.
Smile, Joe.
I don't think I'll ever stop being amazed at the ability of average New Hampshire residents to jump ahead of us on the road to liberty. Now, when I say us, I'm talking about the migrants who moved here for more liberty. When I say average New Hampshire residents, I'm talking about people who are really anything but average. Anyway, let's take the bird watchers as an example. Those are the folks who have rallied to the support of Moltonborough resident Ward Bird after he was arrested for allegedly brandishing a firearm in his own property.
Free Ward Bird! Free Ward Bird!
Seeing them in action has been a real education for me, and probably many others in the liberty movement. Through them, we're learning a great deal about how the Executive Council works in practice, how the pardons process works in practice. We're witnessing new and innovative techniques for raising heck against the system. The bird watchers seem to be doing things none of us ever thought of. Sure, they've done the standard types of protest, but they've also tried tiny protests that are each spread out around the town. For instance, instead of having 200 protesters in one spot, they'll put a couple protesters at every intersection in a given area. At least that's my impression of what they were doing recently. They've also experimented with this approach, the vehicle convoy, or maybe I should say the vehicle convoy protest. They also organized a March of Dimes type walk to raise money. The birdwatchers' efforts continue to pay off. In mid-December, the incoming Speaker of the House for New Hampshire met with Governor Lynch and handed him a lengthy list of state reps who had signed a petition. Over 100 want Bird pardoned and made special trips to sign the petition. The governor immediately began making noises to the effect that he will expedite the pardon process. Pardons in New Hampshire are handled by the governor and executive council together. Writing on December 20th, incoming state rep William Ponick, hope I'm saying that right, had this to say, quote, "One person we need to put pressure on is the prosecuting attorney. The Attorney General will question the judge and the prosecuting attorney. The judge did not want to send Ward to jail, but the prosecutor did. We need to help change his mind. Start sending letters and start making phone calls to the prosecuting attorney. Free Ward Bird." Unquote. Something I've noticed as this situation unfolds, if you look at the comments on unionleader.com or WMUR.com, there is general support for Ward Bird and his supporters, but you see a lot of the same hate mail and hate posting that Free Staters are sometimes subjected to. And although I wish the bird watchers didn't have to go through this, I do think a lot of them are going to come to an understanding of how we feel, how we've often been treated for the last few years. I guess the silver lining is that more New Hampshireites are coming to an understanding how it feels to be like us, fighting a sometimes lonely struggle against the authorities. Fortunately, for the bird watchers, it's increasingly less lonely.
Supposed to be just...
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by the Dover Liberty Book Club.